I am so grateful to be here right now and to be with each and every one of you. I'm so grateful to be codependent. My name is Lori, and I am a grateful codependent. There are so many lessons and blessings and gifts that I received along the way. And I'm grateful for this amazing board that we have at Events Chair AZ. So thank you so much, Alex and Cynthia and Linda and everyone, Christina especially, who was a big visionary for the events chair in Arizona. And I know that we are grateful to get her in San Diego. But she will be a part of the Arizona community also. So today I'm going to be talking about the 12 steps of gratitude, connecting to your higher power through gratitude. And everything that I teach, I don't teach it unless I've actually experienced it myself. So I'm excited to teach this because I know that it's true and I know that it works. And so today I'm going to be giving you a lot of spiritual practices around gratitude. So make sure you have a pencil and paper on hand. If you can take screenshots, that would be great. Any way that you can record it on your own, just to get that golden nugget. No matter what workshop you're in, you always get that one golden nugget that you can take home and that you can apply to your life. So let me see here. This is the first step. Step one. Admitted to my higher power that I am grateful for my mind, my body, my spirit, my home, my family, and friends, my talents, my gifts, my prosperity, and for all of Mother Nature. And so before we begin, I would like to start with a prayer. And the prayer is long, so it's going to be about 4 slides. And just repeat the prayer as I read it, repeat it to yourself so you embody the words of it as we are grateful for everything and everyone in our life. So I invite you to close your eyes, or you can read along with the prayer. This is a prayer of gratitude. Deep at the center of my being, this is an infinite well of gratitude. I now allow this gratitude to fill my heart, my mind, my body, my consciousness, my very being. This gratitude radiates out from me in all directions, touching everything in the world, and returns to me as more to be grateful for. The more gratitude I feel, the more I am aware that the supply is endless. The use of gratitude makes me feel good. It is an expression of my inner joy. It is warm and fuzzy in my life. I am grateful for myself and for my body. I am grateful for my ability to see and hear, feel, taste, and touch. I am grateful for my home, and I take loving care of it. I am grateful for my family and friends, and I rejoice in their company. I am grateful for my work, and I give it my best at all times. I am grateful for my talents and abilities. I continue to express them in ways that are fulfilling. I am grateful for my income, and I know I prosper everywhere I turn. I am grateful for my past experiences, and I know that they were part of my soul's growth. I am grateful for all of nature, and I respect every living thing. I am grateful for today, and I am grateful for the tomorrows to come. I am grateful for life now and forevermore. Amen. So about maybe 10 years ago, I was in ministerial training, and my teacher asked me to do a gratitude workshop. And I thought to myself, well, if I did a gratitude workshop, I really don't want to do it unless I really know what gratitude truly feels like. When I was younger, my mother used to make us say our manners, please and thank you everywhere we went. And we were good little children, and we did that. And when a hostess has a party, I am grateful. I usually bring them a gift, but that's really not gratitude. It wasn't until I had a 30-day practice of gratitude that I truly understood what open-hearted gratitude meant and how to be grateful for everything and everyone in my life. And so I want to share that 30-day practice with you during these 12 steps of gratitude. I won't do it right now, but we will bring it up at the end of the 12 steps. And so maybe you would want to practice it also, because after I did the 30 days, I felt so connected to all of life and to God. I realized that, wow, you don't even have to believe in God or have a higher power to be connected. All you have to do is be grateful. So it's truly a beautiful experience. And so I wanted to do a poll with you. Okay, good. So I just want to ask you, in your life, how often do you practice gratitude? Do you practice it many times a day, once a week, or rarely? And so when we practice many times a day is when we really embrace that God self in our life. And we can use gratitude in so many ways. We can use it to have unconditional gratitude towards other people. We can use it to gain prosperity in our life. We can use it to love people right out of our life, believe it or not. And we can use it to gain great things. And I want to share with you all these spiritual practices that I have had in my life in gratitude in order to prosper. So for the left brain person, we have the benefits of gratitude. Gratitude improves your physical health. People who exhibit gratitude report fewer aches and pains, a general feeling of health, more regular exercise than those who do not express gratitude. Gratitude improves your sleep. Practicing gratitude regularly can help you sleep longer and better. Gratitude improves your psychological health. Grateful people enjoy higher well-being and happiness and suffer from reduced symptoms of depression. Gratitude enhances empathy and reduces aggression. Those who show their gratitude are less likely to seek revenge against others and more likely to behave in a pro-social manner with sensitivity and empathy. Gratitude helps with social connection. Feeling grateful makes one feel connected to other people, and the feeling of separation disappears. Gratitude enhances your self-esteem. People who are grateful have increased self-esteem, partly due to their ability to appreciate others' accomplishments. And gratitude increases mental strength. Grateful people have an advantage in overcoming trauma and enhance resilience, helping them to bounce back from highly stressful situations. And most important of all, gratitude connects you to your higher power. If the only prayer that you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. That's one of my favorite quotes by Meister Eckhart. To speak gratitude is courteous and pleasant, and we learned to do that when we were little, when your parents taught you please and thank you, because you had to say it, because you wanted to say it. To enact gratitude is generous and noble, like when you go to a friend's house and you bring them flowers, they're making you dinner. But to live gratitude is to truly touch heaven. Step 2. Come to believe that gratitude is a power greater than ourselves that can restore us to sanity. And one of my favorite quotes on gratitude is by Melanie Beattie. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, and confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past and brings peace into today and creates a vision into tomorrow. So there was a story about Dr. Tom LaCosta. He is a minister in Palm Desert, and he had a client that he was counseling. And the client had everything going for himself. He was in great shape. He was a great tennis player. He had a thriving business. Tom just married him to a woman that adored him and loved him, and she had a beautiful family and he had a beautiful family, but there was still something about him that was very, very unhappy. And when Tom went to pray for him, he just couldn't really put his finger on what it is about this man that needed to be healed. And so Tom had gone to a 12-step meeting. He was in AA, and they were working on step 5. And they were talking about their life and everything that had happened in their life until they got to step 1. And someone in the meeting who was half of Tom's age said, "You cannot be grateful and unhappy at the same time. You cannot be grateful and unhappy at the same time." And that really spiritually stunned Dr. Tom. Like, this person who is half my age just said something that is so profound. And he realized that his client that he was working with, the reason why he was so unhappy is because he took life for granted. And he took everything in his life for granted. And if only that he could practice gratitude on a regular basis, that his heart would be open, because you cannot be grateful and unhappy at the same time. So he had taken this lesson with him, and he taught it in his workshops and in his talks and everything that he did. And he thought to himself, well, how is it that I can practice gratitude in my life on a regular basis? And so he thought about his life, and that he grew up Catholic, and they had like their rosary beads, the gratitude rosary beads. You see these right here. And so he grabbed his rosary beads and he made it a spiritual practice that, every morning he would wake up and he would have his rosary beads. And he would take one bead at a time and he would just twist that bead and he would think about someone in his life that he was grateful for. And then he would move on to the next bead and think about someone else in his life that he was grateful for. And he would move on to the next bead and think about someone else or a person, a place, his home, his health. And it became a practice that he practiced every single day just by using his Catholic rosary beads as a spiritual practice. And you could also do this with, the Buddhist beads, which are 108 beads that you sit in prayer and meditation. And if you're new to meditation, you can also use these beads to train yourself to meditate. If you say, well, I can't meditate because my mind is too busy, all you have to do is to take one bead at a time and have an affirmation such as, God is, I am, or I am grateful for my higher power. And then you move on to your next bead, I am grateful for my higher power. And then you move on to your next bead, I am grateful for my higher power. You just keep in cadence with an affirmation for 108 beads. And then maybe during that time, you can move into cadence with people that you're grateful for, friends, family, and don't forget your foe. So it's important to add the people that disturb you, be grateful for them, and watch they'll turn into your friends again. So it's that is one spiritual practice that you can take with you. Step 3, made a decision to create my own ideal birth, knowing that gratitude is heaven itself. I have to say that, this summer has been amazing with these workshops here in Arizona, and I'm really, really grateful for it. I have learned so much, and I also was able to finally, after all these years, get someone to sponsor me. And I was introduced to a book. I'm just only mentioning this book because it's my Experience, Strength, and Hope, and it was John Bradshaw, Healing the Shame That Binds You. And it revealed another layer of codependency that I had that I would have been more in denial with and maybe not willing to admit it in my life. That in that book, John describes what a lost child is. And if I would think of myself as a lost child, I would think never. I'm not a lost child. I got it all together, because I was the overachiever, but I was a classic case of a lost child. And a lost child is somebody who wasn't planned to come into the world. You were like the oops baby, or when you did come into the world, your parents were unconscious and afraid. So like my parents were young, and there was my sister and I were not even a year apart. My mother's body was compromised when I was born. I think she lost all her teeth. She was very, very ill. And my father lost his job. So you can imagine your mother has fear because of her health, and your father has fear because of the abundance factor. And then you are there, you come into the world, and you're in this world that's filled with fear, so you don't feel like you're welcomed. Even though I didn't know that at the time, but when I went back and did these experientials, I was like, oh my gosh, I was really the lost child. I kind of fell in between the cracks. And so I started to do all these behavior, personality traits in order to survive the family dynamics. And so I ran into a meditation that I want to share with you as experiential that I'm going to play. And it's that you actually get to create your own ideal birth, that heaven is, that gratitude is heaven itself, and that you are a unique, individualized creation of the divine. And even if you came into the world, the people around you were full of fear and they were unconscious, that you were fully supported by life itself. Step 4, made a searching and fearless inventory of everything in my life to be grateful for. So this is kind of like this is a practice that you kind of put in your back pocket and you take it with you everywhere you go, because you never know when you need it. I use this when I get out in public and I become very impatient with society and with people and with life. Like when you're in a long line, either in a car or you're in a long line at the post office, where you're getting irritated and you're kind of tapping your toe and you're crossing your arms and you put your hands on your hips. And this is a time where I go, okay, I'm pulling this tool out of my back pocket and I'm going to use it right now. And this is called the ABCs of gratitude. So There's different ways to play this game. So let's say if you just play a simple way, right now we'll play the simple way of people, places, and situations in your life that you're grateful for. So I would say people that I'm grateful for. A, I am grateful for my Aunt Elma. And B, I'm grateful for my sister Barry. And C, I'm grateful for my niece Candace. And D, I'm grateful for my dad. And E, I'm grateful for my Uncle Ed. And F, I'm grateful for my Uncle Frank. And G, I'm grateful for Gigi. So what happens by the time I get to Z, I am filled with love and I'm filled with gratitude. I'm also at the front of the line, and I'm no longer angry at everybody and judging everybody and angry at myself. So this is great, like when you're in the car and you're driving or you're standing in line. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes just to write some ABCs of gratitude. Go through the alphabet. Just go to like however you can go up to for like 2 minutes. We'll do 2 minutes of the ABCs. And so it's at the tip of your consciousness when you need to pull it out of your back pocket. And then when you're, so go ahead and start practicing as I'm talking. So then when you're bored with, let's say you decide to use, I'm going to use all the people in my life, maybe all my family names. And then maybe the next time you do it, you might like, I'm just going to do the ABCs of all my friends, or I'm going to do the ABCs of the food that I love to eat, or I'm going to do the ABCs of the places that I want to travel to, or the ABCs of the clothing that I like to wear, or whatever it doesn't matter what you do, but you want to make it into a game with yourself that you have to actually think about it, and that you're authentically connected to whatever you're saying, because when you're done with it, you're just filling your consciousness up with love and joy and happiness. And just like it said, you cannot be unhappy and grateful at the same time. So when you're irritated, you pull out your ABCs of gratitude out of your back pocket, you start playing the game, and you're standing there and you're just filled with this joy and happiness in your life. All right, I'm going to move on to the next one. So this is step 5, admitted to God, myself, and another human being how grateful I am. So there's 3 ways that you can practice this. I mean, there's many ways you can practice it, but you can get a very pretty box and decorate it. And if you're having problems with a relationship or with somebody in your life, get a gratitude box, and every day put 3 to 5 different reasons why you are grateful for that person, and put it in that gratitude box. And lo and behold, because you're sending love out to that person, and this is energetic, that relationship is going to have to heal. So every day when you want to heal a relationship, put little gratitude notes of love into the gratitude box. If you want to practice self-love and appreciation for yourself, you can make a box for yourself, and every day remind yourself of those attributes of yourself that you love, and how you give your gifts and your talents to the world. And then when you're feeling down and out, you can open up your little gratitude box and read all the notes that you've written to yourself of self-love and appreciation. And the third way to use this box, and this has to be done in a healthy way, especially with codependency. Like you can make a pretty box, let's say, for someone that you love and adore in your life, and you want to show them how much you appreciate them. You have to do it with the intention that you're not trying to get something from them, that you're not trying to get approval from them, or you're not trying to get love from them, that you're doing it authentically from a heart space of that you really do love this person, and all you want to do is communicate it to this person. You're not asking for anything back. So it would be, you're giving love without conditions, right? So every day I'm going to write something why I, love your husband or your wife or your mother or your father or your sister. I'm going to put it in that box. I'm going to give it to them as a gift, but not because I'm trying to get anything from them, because I'm authentically expressing what's in my heart to them. And so we got to be careful of that as codependency, that we're not trying to seek approval. And so when we do that without trying to seek approval, we just open our heart up more, because the more love that we give, the more love that we become in the world. This next practice of gratitude is very, very powerful. Step 6, I'm ready for God to make changes in my life through the practice of gratitude. If you want to make changes in your life, the best thing to do is to be grateful. Let's say you hate your job, or let's say you do not like your relationship, or let's say you want to make more money. Let's say you're stuck in a situation, you can't stand the situation. The more you talk about how much you hate the situation, the more it sticks in your life, because you're holding that vibration of I don't want, and I don't want it anymore in my life. And so it continues to proceed in your life the way that you're expressing. But when you give gratitude for whatever it is happening in your life, this is when it releases itself and something new comes into your life. Because you're almost going through like a healing crisis. A lot of times, especially in Codependence Anonymous, our consciousness has expanded and we're looking for something new to come into our life, but our life has not expanded into where our consciousness is. So when we are going through this healing crisis, if we stay in gratitude for what it is that we are creating in our life and for what it is that we already have in our life, then the evolution can unfold easily and a lot effortlessly. So here's a tool that you can use I want to share with you, and this is called the focus wheel if you want to make changes in your life. So here's a wheel. If you want, you can draw yourself that wheel, okay? Just put a circle with a cross in it and then make another cross. And then so you have eight spokes. So you put the topic in the center and then a statement of gratitude for each spoke. And you speak out loud your gratitude statement and you move this wheel around in a circle. I think there's also an app that you can get called the focus wheel. Here's an example of it. So let's say you have a job that you hate, you don't like your job. You want to get out of your job. That's the whole thing. So you're looking to make changes. So you just put, okay, so the focus is I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for what I have right now. And then up in the corner there, it says, I'm grateful for my job. And the next wheel, I'm grateful for the people in my job. The next spoke, I'm grateful for the new skills that I learned. I'm grateful for my boss. I'm grateful for the friends that I have made. I'm grateful for my job that it pays my bills. I'm grateful that my job offered me creativity. I am grateful that I live close to my job. So this is a way to make changes in your life. So go ahead and draw a wheel and put a cross in it and then another cross so you have 8 spokes. And what is it in your life that you want to make a change? Where in your life do you want to change? Is it relationship? Is it job? Creativity? More money? What in your life do you want to make a change? And in the middle, put whatever it is that you want to change, that you're grateful for that, the way it is right here and right now, that you're grateful. I am grateful for the way it is. And be grateful, your first spoke, be grateful for what it is. You're grateful for your job, you're grateful for your relationship, you're grateful for your creativity, you're grateful for your finances. I'm grateful for that. And then grateful for all the ways that it has served you in your life, maybe the lessons that you've learned from it. I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned from this. I'm grateful for the blessings that occurred in my life. I'm grateful for the gifts that I received from this. I'm grateful for the changes that has occurred in my consciousness. I'm grateful for all the good that I received. I'm grateful that I'm willing to make a change. So whatever it is that you want to change in your life, have a wheel of gratitude for what is and for what is about to happen. And so what you would do is you would take your focus wheel every day and you would practice your focus wheel. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for the people in my job. I'm grateful for the new skills that I've learned. I'm grateful for my boss. I'm grateful for the friends I've made. I'm grateful for my job that pays my bills. I'm grateful for my job offered me creativity. I'm grateful that I live close to my job. These are all the reasons why I'm grateful for my job that I no longer want to keep, because I'm looking for that new job. But I'm grateful for what is right now. So as long as I'm grateful for what is right now, that can move easily out of my life so that the new good can move into my life. Sometimes we just have to love people and love situations right out of our life. Yeah. I was recently teaching facilitating a Power of 8 group, and one of the members in the group was going through a divorce. He was married for a very short time. And the woman was asking for a lot of money. And of course he was upset and angry and everything. And she went and talked to them and they were in a lawsuit. So the group decided that we were going to love her right out of his life. Yeah. we were going to love her right out of his life. So how do you love her right out of his life? So every single day, he prayed for her, prayed for the highest and best for her every single day. And the group meditated for 10 minutes over her and for him, that we would just love her right into her highest and best good. And the next day, she called and they started communicating, and they were able to resolve their differences. And so recently, I did the same thing with somebody that I had to love right out of my life. Here in California, if I'm a landlord, so I was having problems. I had a tenant that wasn't paying the rent. And so during COVID-19, they only have to pay 25% here in California. So I thought, well, I'm not going to really worry about it. I'm just going to pray for this person every single day. I'm going to love him right out of my life. And so every single day in my prayers, I prayed for my tenant. I prayed for the highest, best good for my tenant and for the pit bull that was in that house and for the whole situation. And I was sitting around the other day waiting for an amazing, awesome blessing, which I'll talk to you about in a couple of minutes. And I checked my email and my tenant gave me a 30-day notice. So all I can say is that it really works. They say what you resist persists. So whatever it is in your life that you're resisting, you want to love it and you want to bless it and you want to have gratitude for it. And it will just naturally fall right out of your life because it no longer resonates with who you are and who you're trying to be. Step 7, gratefully ask God to remove limiting beliefs in order to open up to unlimited possibilities. So I think the biggest thing with Codependence Anonymous is really having a daily practice of gratitude through self-love and appreciation, that our lives become filled with joy. I am amazingly awesome. And to come up with reasons every single day why you are amazingly awesome. Because when we believe that we are amazingly awesome, not in a conceited way, but in a wholehearted way, then life will agree with us and says, yes, you are amazingly awesome. So whatever it is that you want in life, you can have. I learned this hard lesson years ago when I was in college, and I've told the story many times, wanted to become a professional dancer, and I wasn't getting the roles that I thought I should be getting. And, I talked to my mother and she said, well, Lori, you just don't think like you deserve it. And that's why you're never going to get anything you want unless you deserve it, unless you feel like you deserve it. And I knew she was right. And that was the moment I really went into my heart space and said, okay, I really do deserve it. Why do I really deserve this? And I had to talk myself into believing with my heart, my body, my mind, my soul, that I deserve to be the dancer that worked all the time. And what happens when your subconscious mind and your conscious mind is in a complete agreement with what you're thinking, then you have the manifestation in your life. And when we feel like we don't deserve something or we're not enough, and our self-esteem is what blocks us from all of our good in our life. And all we have to do is realize that we are really amazing and we are awesome. And what is stopping me from getting exactly what I wanted? I was stopping me. And once I realized that, and I came up with all the reasons why I deserve to be the dancer that worked all the time, why that I am amazingly awesome, then the universe was on board with me, so I was able to move forward in life. So think of something in your life right now that you feel is blocking you from, or you're blocking yourself from getting what you want, because we're the only ones that block ourselves from getting our good in our life. Think of what it is. What is it? Do you want to make more money? Do you want a better connection with your higher power? Do you want a job? Is it a relationship? And then maybe put some of the reasons why you deserve that, why you are amazingly awesome, and why you deserve to have exactly what it is that you're looking for. What are you giving up right now that you believe that you want? Like there's something in your life that you're giving up. Maybe you don't have the financial freedom to travel and to buy and to have what you want in the world. Are you giving up that financial freedom? Maybe you can decide that this is the time where you no longer want to suffer like that you deserve to have financial freedom. That you're amazingly awesome and you deserve financial freedom in your life. Maybe it's a loving relationship you haven't had in your life. And now it's time to believe that, no, I am amazingly awesome and I deserve to have a loving relationship in my life. Maybe it's your health. You're not as healthy as you want to be. Maybe there's some part of you that doesn't deserve to be healthy. No, I've been unhealthy long enough, and now I deserve to be healthy and free. See, once you convince your subconscious mind that you deserve to be healthy, you deserve to have financial freedom, that you deserve to have the relationships, this is when the universe delivers these to you. So think of one area in your life that you're ready to open yourself up to, and write down all the reasons that you are amazingly awesome and why you deserve those in your life right here and right now. I think this is probably one of the most important steps to take in healing our codependency, is recognizing that we're worthy and we deserve whatever it is that we want to express in our life. But the fact that we can't really get it until we come into agreement that, yeah, I deserve this. Well, I felt like I deserved to be the professional dancer. Why? Because my parents didn't pay for my college. And I worked hard. I was working till 5 o'clock in the morning. And this is what my passion was. I really wanted to express it. But I had really low self-esteem, and it was difficult for me to. But the minute I decided, no, this is what I want and this is what I deserve, it's almost like this is when the universe opened its door to me. Sooner or later, we have to get sick and tired of not having that relationship, not having the health, not having the wealth, not having those things in our life that we want to open ourselves up to, that we deserve to. This is a caricature of my mother, and I haven't shown her this picture yet, but my mother was a single grandmother raising her grandchildren, working for corporate America, not making a whole lot of money. I think she did telephone sales. And she used to sew my dance costumes when I was little, and she had a girlfriend that had a good business sense about her that found her a tailor shop in Phoenix there, and helped her purchase this tailor shop. And this tailor trained my mother to become a really good tailor. And I think the business was only making $10,000, $15,000 a year when she first got it. And she was so excited to have her independence and so excited just to have her own business and go to work every day and not have younger people tell her, what to do, that every time someone came into the building, she would say, like they would give her $1 or $20 or $10. She would say, money keeps falling all over me. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And she would say it with vigor and passion, even though, it wasn't a whole lot of money. And this was her saying that she would say every single day, all day long. And then 3 years later, her business went from $10,000 to $100,000 a year. And I have shared this with many different people, and they have used this in their life to have more money in their life, to have more joy. So I invite you to take a screenshot of this or to use this affirmation in your life. And remember that when you do use this affirmation, it has to be with power and with passion. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. It's the gratitude towards God, and it's the passion in your voice that brings the energy of the money to you. And just try it. You find that money will keep falling all over you. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So this is a step that I used that really connected me to my wholeness. And I started from the beginning when I was given the gratitude workshop. I did a 30-day challenge. I made a list of 30 people in my life, friends, family, foe, and I wrote letters of appreciation to them. But I was very clear that I wasn't doing it for them. I wasn't doing it so I could get approval from them. I didn't really care how they were going to respond to the letter. And that's good because I had many different responses. I was standing in my power of who I was when I was doing this. Now, if you're new to codependency, you might not want to send out the letters, but you might want to write the letters and keep the letters. But if you send the letters, you have to be very secure that everyone's going to react differently. And it doesn't matter how people react, you are doing it for you and for no one else. So you make a list of 30 people who are in your inner circle, people who are in your outer circle, people who have betrayed you in your life. And these are important letters because the people that have betrayed you in your life, you want to send those letters to yourself. You don't want to send it to them. You want to send it to you. And you want to talk about the lessons and the blessings that you learned from them. So what you do is you make on your piece of paper, I don't know if you know how to mind map. Some people might know how to do it. Some people might not know how to do it. But you have a circle, okay? And in the middle of the circle, you put the person's name, okay? So I would put my girlfriend, Alexander. And then you draw lines out from the circle. And then from one line, I'll put like like the lessons, the blessings, and the gifts. So that's on over here, the lessons, the blessings, the gifts. And then I'll put like, she's my prayer partner. That's who she is for me, prayer partner. That's who she is. And then I'll put on another extended line from the prayer partner, like she's funny, she's humorous, she makes me laugh. This is her gift, she makes me laugh. And then I'll put, oh, here's another one. I'll put, she loves to tap dance. So I have all these things about Alexandra, and I keep building on them, but you can do more lines, you know, things that we've done together and all these experiences. And since I write this all down on a map, then it's easy for me to write the thank you note to her. Like, Alexandra, I will tell her that I'm doing this 30 days of gratitude for all the people in my life. And I just want to let you know that I love you because you are my prayer partner and you always make me laugh. You always see the best in life. I love it that you have a business called Blessings for Bella. You're always blessing all the animals around the world. You're funny. You tell funny family stories. You're of service. You're super creative. And one of our favorite things to do together is tap dance. So I will write her this letter, and every day I write a letter to a different person, okay? And after 30 days, you're gonna feel so connected to your higher power, you're gonna wish that you never stopped writing those letters. That's how I wish I never stopped writing those letters. Now, the people who betrayed you, oh my goodness, you gotta write those letters too, and you have to send them to yourself. So I've had a lot of betrayal in my life, and I just have to write the lessons that I learned along the way. You know, I learned that I have to love myself. You know, I learned that I have to have better boundaries. You know, even though we had a great friendship, I learned that I need to trust myself more than I trust somebody else. So what are the lessons that I learned along the way? I would write them in that letter, and then I would send the letter to myself. So right now, I'm going to invite you to do a mind map and to write a letter to somebody in your life. A family member, a friend, a foe, just a small little ditty letter. And then we're going to do a breakout and we're going to share with each other a letter a little note. So just do 5 sentences long or whatever, but a gratitude note to somebody in your life. Okay. So I hope you may give yourself this challenge, this 30-day challenge. It's very easy. Every day, write a letter to a friend, family, or foe, whether you send the letter or not. It's funny, if you do send a letter, you're going to get 2 reactions. People are going to be like, oh my God, I've never had such a beautiful letter written about me. Thank you so much. But you really still have to keep that boundary and know you didn't do it because you wanted to get them to love you or appreciate you. You did it because what you're doing right now, filling your heart with love and appreciation and joy. But the other reaction that you're going to get is that there'll be no reaction. And that's kind of like, I thought, whoa, oh my God. So I was a little shocked that some people didn't know how to react to like a love letter. So, but I was in my power, and I knew why I was sending the letter out, and that was to fill myself up with love and appreciation and joy. So you got to make sure you're really secure in your codependency before you do this exercise. And if you're not that secure, I would do the letters and I wouldn't send them out, but I would, at least put them away so you can read them again. But this is a great spiritual practice to really stay connected to your higher power. Step 9, thank my higher power that I am codependent. Thank you, God, that I am codependent. There's so many lessons and blessings that I have learned from my codependency and new awarenesses and personal growth and people and friends and family and, this group. And there's just so much great things that came out of it, even though, there was dark times and, many times I scratched my head. I didn't understand who I am. And it was because of Codependence Anonymous, I was able to get some clarity. And I know that the onion is continually really peeling back. So my step group the other day, they text me and I asked them if I can use their text for my workshop because it was really beautiful. And I just wanted to share it with you. Like one said, with it being November, I'm reminded how thankful I am for all of you in this Thursday group, and what an amazing blessing the group is in my life. Coda is only as amazing as the people who share and care for each other on this journey. And the other one was, I'm just grateful for you and I'll be in my supportive system and having the grace of including me in your support system too. Coda is without a doubt the greatest gift I've received, and it keeps on giving. So I'm just going to ask you now just to write down 3 reasons why Codependence Anonymous has been a blessing in your life. Maybe it's the people, maybe it's the step study, maybe it's the personal expansion, but give gratitude for this group. And we're going to share, we're going to go back into breakout rooms and we're going to share this with each other of why codependency has really blessed your life. So I invite you now to write down 3 reasons why, or 2 reasons why, or a reason why, but give gratitude for this time that we have together, and really for Arizona, for doing such an amazing job during this COVID, for having this available to everyone and making it global. It's just been such a blessing in my life. I've learned so much this summer. And it's hard to go on these healing journeys, because you go through these healing crises where you find out something new that were in denial about, because it was so much easier to be in denial than to see the truth. And you have to expand into the acceptance of it and the awareness of it, and then grow past it to become free of it. So what is it about Codependence Anonymous that you are grateful for? The lessons, the blessings, the gifts, the people, the connection, the personal growth, the expansion. Yeah. Great. So I hope that you enjoyed listening to everyone's blessings and lessons of why they love being in Codependence Anonymous. I got that idea because I have a book that says, thank God I was born in a refugee camp. Thank God I was blind. Thank God I was abused. Thank God I was raised in chaos. That out of every single situation, there's always something to learn from it. There's always a blessing that comes out of it. So just the fact that we're in Codependence Anonymous, there's so many great, wonderful blessings in this. And I really appreciate it. So step 10, higher power. Ask your higher power tell your higher power that you are open to receive an amazing, awesome blessing. So there is a author that I love, Ann New Thought, and one of her books, she was recommended that every day you ask your higher power for an amazing, awesome blessing. And let me tell you, when you ask the universe for something like that, you're going to receive it in your life. Like, for an example, I asked the universe for an amazing, awesome blessing about a week ago, and I received an amazing, awesome blessing that day. The next day I was going to travel to Michigan, and when I came back, I was going to have this workshop. But my workshop was pushed out 1 week, and that gave me a whole week that I could be fully and completely in the present moment with my father and my stepmother, and another week to prepare for my workshop. So that was an amazing, awesome blessing. And so step 11, now if we live in the world of infinite possibilities, infinite potentiality, why should I ask for just one amazing, awesome blessing every day? Why don't I ask for 2 or 3 amazing, awesome blessings? So the next day I thought, you know what? I am going to ask my higher power for many awesome blessings. So the next day, when I was on my way to Michigan, I went into my fanny pack that I was going to take with me, and I found $220 in cash in there. And then I had another purse that I took out of my closet that I was taking, a small purse, and there was $25 in that purse. I was like, oh my God, 2 amazing, awesome blessings. And then when I got to Michigan, my parents picked me up at the airport, and we went out to Cracker Barrel so we could have dinner. We waited for an hour for our food, and they gave us 3 meals for free. So, this was like an amazing, awesome blessing. I got all those amazing, awesome blessings in one day. So I thought every single day I wake up, and I'm always looking for an amazing, awesome blessing. So please put this on your list to ask the universe for amazing, awesome blessings, and to be open to receive them every single day. And when you're open and you're receptive, they will show themselves to you. And so what I do now is I keep a list on my phone in my notes. Every single day, I keep a list of all my amazing, awesome blessings. Yeah, and then as I put them on my phone, I just keep listing them every single day, my amazing, awesome blessings. So list in your notes, your amazing, awesome blessings in your phone, keep a journal, and just watch them pour in, because you are claiming it, and you're decreeing it, and you're asking for it, and it is ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open to you. So in step 12, we're wrapping this up. Having a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we continue our connection with our higher power through the practice of a gratitude jar. And through my experience, hope, and strength, I had read a book, and it's called The Gratitude Jar. And it's a transformational book that it only takes you like an hour to read. And it's about a woman who was an alcoholic. And she had 2 children and a husband. And she was very, very depressed. And she went and saw a counselor, and a counselor suggested to her to start a gratitude jar. And she told her also to keep a journal of this gratitude jar every single day. And so what you do is at night before you go to bed, you write something that you're grateful for. Like, I'm grateful for my home, but you have to put because. And because I'm grateful for my home because it's peaceful, because I feel safe here, because, I love my location, because I like my view, because is the glue to your gratitude. And so what happened was this woman was, a mother of 2 children. One was in diapers, one was 4 years old. And when her husband would come home, she would give her husband the kids. She would go into the kitchen and start drinking. And she was very, very depressed. She became suicidal. She felt like her family really had no use for her. But through doing this gratitude jar every single day, it actually helped her to stop drinking. And her 4-year-old son, she lost connection with him because her attention was always on the baby in the diapers. So this was a practice that her and her 4-year-old son did every single night, that they gave gratitude. And through this book and through this journey, you would see that the relationship between her and her son has changed within the 30 days. Also, she had stopped drinking within the 30 days. And she had a job that was not giving her the hours that she needed in order to make ends meet. And she started to be grateful for her job. And all of a sudden, she was offered more hours and a better job. And then a year later, her and her husband did something they never thought they could do. They ended up buying a brand new house in an area they never thought they would live in. It says this woman had this transformational journey by every day practicing through the power of the gratitude jar. So every night, give gratitude for something different in your life or someone different. I am grateful for because, and write the because on that piece of paper and roll it up and put it in your gratitude jar and watch how your life transformed. So gratitude is a powerful catalyst for happiness. It sparks the light, a fire of joy in your soul. My day begins and ends with gratitude. Thank you, everyone. And I hope that you're able to take a golden nugget from this workshop with you and apply it to your life. And I am just grateful for Codependence Anonymous and grateful for Arizona events.